it's Jordan Teen 1, and I'm going to start out by apologizing for my voice. I'm a little bit sick right now, but I still wanted to do this tutorial to show you how to make this cool spider ring for Halloween. And here's what it looks like. You can do it on the monster tail or the rainbow loom because you're only going to be working with 2 pins. And it only takes 8 rubber bands. So that's what I have in black. I have the Rainbow Loom rubber bands today. I'm going to start out by taking my first rubber band and I'm going to place it on the left hand side in the center row. And you can really use any 2 pins that are straight across from one another, but I'm going to be working with the center row. And now I'm going to be taking my next rubber band and I want it to be quadrupled. So I'm just going to do this on my hook. I'm going to place it on. I want to twist and put it back on. Twist, get it back on, and then one more time. So you'll see 4 rubber bands on there. And if you find like your bands are really tight and you're having a hard time, you can just triple this. Although I do prefer it to be quadrupled so it's tighter. And that's going to go on the right hand side in the center row. So I'm just going to place it on this pin and push it down to the bottom. And now I'm going to take another rubber band and I want this one to be doubled. So I'm just placing it on my hook, twisting and putting it back on one time. So you'll see the 2 rubber bands on there. And that's going straight across from the left to the right. And now what I want to do is get this quadrupled band to move over the top and into the middle. So I'm just going to take my hook and grab all 4 bands at once. I'm just going to carefully slide this on into the center and push down. And now the next thing I want to do is make the legs for the spider. So in order to do this, I'm going to take 2 black rubber bands. And you can see how this rubber band is more oval shaped. And so if your bands are more oval shaped like this, you want the oval to be laying horizontally the long way. And for example, here's another one that's a little bit oval shaped. So when I combine these 2 for the legs, I want them to be like this. So I'm just going to pick them up. I want one to go on top of the other, so I'll put the right one over top of the left. And now the one that's on the bottom, the inside part is going to come up through the other circle, and the one that's on the top, the inside part is going to go down through. So it's just going to make a slip knot. So on the right here, I'm pulling this one up through, and on the left, this one's going to come down. So they're just going to slide inside of one another, and I want to pull that nice and tight, and it's going to make a slip knot. So that's going to be one set of the legs. And then I want to do that again. So I'm taking 2 more rubber bands. Again, I want to look how they're shaped, and I want the oval to be more flat. I want one to go over top of the other, and the one on the bottom, that band is going to come up through, while the one on the top is going to be pulled down and pulled tight to make a slip knot. Now the next thing I'm going to do is take both of the sets of legs that we just made, and I'm going to put those on the pins. So they are going to be loose. I'm just going to set them on. Just one right on top of the other. And I want them to be in the middle as much as possible. I want this slip knot to be centered as best as I can. And now what I'm going to do is put another rubber band on. It's going to be doubled, and it's just going right on top here, straight across from the left to the right. And now I want the bottom set of rubber bands to come over the top. So I'm going to reach my hook down inside of these loose bands, the leg bands. I'm grabbing this bottom set. It's a doubled band, so it's going to be tight. I want that to come over the top and into the middle. Now on the left side at the very bottom we have this loose rubber band that's going to be the ring part. I'm going to move that over the top and put it in the center here. Just leave it sit right in the middle. And then again I'm going to reach down through. I'm going inside of these two leg bands and I'm grabbing the bottom two rubber bands and pulling that over the top and into the middle. So you can see that these leg bands came off when I did that. I'm just going to put them right back on over on the left. I'm going to push this down. And now again on the right I'm going to reach down through the leg bands, these big loops. Grab this other set of bands. Again it's a doubled band. And I'm just going to move that straight across to the left. Put it right on the top. And now I'm going to grab this lower set of doubled bands. So again, I'm ignoring these two big loops, getting inside there, grabbing these bottom two bands and pulling them over the top and push down. So now I can release these leg bands, these loops, and that's going to leave just one set of rubber bands on here. That's your only loose bands you have to worry about. Get it on my hook and remove that. And now what I'm going to do is take these two bands and pull them very, very tightly. It's going to make a slip knot. I don't want that to come apart. It's also going to form the head of the spider. And now I can take the leg bands and get them on the sides that they belong on. So two should angle up towards the left and then two towards the right. I have the band in the middle, that's going to be the loop for the finger. And now the last thing that I'm going to do is take the scissors and I'm going to cut in the very center of the bottom. And then at the top, going to cut in the middle of those. And you can adjust the legs if you need to. And you can see where the loop is for the ring is on the bottom here. And I actually want it to go on the other side. And I want to place it so it's in between the two legs. So I'm going to take what's going to be the front legs and the back legs. I'm going to take this loop and go around there. And then the same thing on the other side. I want it to separate the front and back legs. So now I'm just getting this ring part to go underneath. And now I've got it in between the front and back legs. So now I can just place it on my finger and get the spider on there. Do a little bit more adjusting to how I want the legs to be. And then it's all set. I hope that everyone had fun making their spider rings. You can always leave me comments on YouTube and Facebook, post pictures of your creations to my Facebook page, and please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on my latest tutorials. You can also find me on Pinterest and Instagram, so please feel free to subscribe to those as well. Thanks for watching!